Today is the International Day of Solidarity with the Palestinian people. They chose an ironic date to mark that solidarity, because on this date, in 1947, the United Nations decided to divide this land and have a Jewish state and an Arab state. And the Jews said yes, and the Arabs said no, and tried to annihilate the Jewish state in the making and prevent it from being formed. Now, at the time, there was a newspaper serving this area in English called the Palestine Post. It was a proud Zionist paper located right here. And on February the 1st, 1948, Arabs set fire to this building over here where the Palestine Post was headquartered and printed, killing 3 people who worked on the press. That explosion was so huge that it was felt blocks away, where my mother was sleeping in her crib. She was Palestinian too, Jewish. Back then, it was the Jews who called themselves Palestinian. And the glass shattered over her crib, and if it had not been that her mother a few moments before had put a blanket over her head, she would have been harmed in that explosion. I worked for the Jerusalem Post as the Palestine Post became a couple years later for 24 years. And you see over here, back then though, it was the Palestine Post that celebrated the State of Israel being born.
On the International Day of Solidarity with the Palestinian people, I'm choosing to remember my Palestinian grandparents. Savta Rina, who was born in 1922 under the British Mandate, whose family was one of the founders of the Tel Adashim Moshav, who served in World War II, in the War of Independence, and then for the rest of her life as a nurse serving the people and taking care of the people. Saba Alex moved to Palestine as a young man. He served in the Wingate Brigades before joining the war effort to fight the Nazis in World War II. After which he returned home, became a Palestinian citizen, and fought in the Haganah for Israeli independence for the nascent Jewish state. Saba Papi Agion left Egypt in 1936 to become a Palestinian citizen. He and his family built the house that would one day become known as the house on Balfour Street, where the current Prime Minister of Israel now resides. So today, as we celebrate the pioneers of Palestine, I'm remembering my family who helped build a thriving Jewish state.
My Saba Yaakov was born in 1920 in Hebron and grew up speaking Hebrew and Arabic, living side by side with his Arab neighbors, until the year 1929, when the Hebron riots took place and the Jewish community was brutally attacked by the Arab neighbors. His grandfather was murdered, his father was brutally assaulted, he was stabbed multiple times as a 9-year-old boy, all over his back, his head, his neck, his hands. His sister was raped and left for dead. It was a miracle that the family was able to make it out alive. They relocated to Jerusalem and moved in with the rest of their family